What's up, my know-it-alls? We're here to talk about The Batman with a non-spoiler review. That's right, Mr. Know-it-all got to a screening, babies. Here we go. This is absolutely 100% a no-spoiler review. You have my absolute word on this, and I'm going to tell you right now, this movie is, it's going to change the game. I think that this movie is definitely the Batman that we have wanted. Well, okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is this is definitely a different Batman than I've ever seen before. I mean, the same way that Batman by Gaslight for me was different, and I love that movie. Same thing with the Samurai anime Batman. I love that one too because I'd never seen it before. This is the closest thing to what I would say is that really gritty Scott Snyder, Hush, Tom King, War of Jokers type stuff. You know, this feel you got going on that we've ever seen in The Batman. Matt Reeves is doing the Lord's work. Matt Reeves definitely has that Fincher quality. It's very dark, very noir, noir. Golly, I think if anybody hears the word noir one more time, I'm going to go straight for the jugular. Robert Pattinson, bro. Who knew? I know I didn't. As far as I knew, don't get me wrong, I've seen The Lighthouse. I've seen a couple other of his films outside of the Twilight movies. But he's doing something in this that I found really unique. It's awesome. He doesn't. For those of you fans immediately asking, he does not. Drop the octave and give you the "where's the trigger" type thing. But he just sort of just goes a little deeper with his voice. Very cool. There's a couple of scenes where he's playing it. So the whole thing takes place. Let me back up. The whole thing takes place 2 years. He's 2 years into his career as Batman. And that's not a spoiler. That's literally stuff that we've been told and have seen. And the thing that he's doing is he's really gotten in with the police. This is a Gotham City that he's trying to fix. This Gotham City, this is a rough Gotham. This is a Gotham like we've never seen. It is dark. This city feels lost. And Bruce is doing his best to try but I feel like he's still getting his vengeance on. You know, Batman later on down the road in other things we've seen, other iterations, and further in his career, he will come to a greater realization of things and he hones his skills and this and that, gets a little more polished. This is rough, raw Batman. And it's amazing to kind of watch. The other thing, some of the other players around him, Selina Kyle, Zoe Kravitz, bring something to Selina Kyle so I feel like Zoe Kravitz's Selina Kyle is a better version of what Anne Hathaway wanted to be in Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, or when, the Dark Knight Rises or whatever. In that I didn't believe Anne Hathaway was that, Jenny from the block, girl on the street, raised whatever, pickpocketing people and taking advantage of Johns and stuff like that. But I believe Zoe's seen some stuff. And I believe that her Selina Kyle, she is graceful while being raw. I believe fully that she'd be the kind of chick to have the skill she has, but then have the little ski mask rip open the thing, so what they have is the way the ski mask is built. When you rip open the thing, the parts that are part of the sewing make it look. That's why she looks like she has a square head in the trailers. But the truth is, they're supposed to make it look like ears. Everyone's going for the cat look. It's really cool. Anyway, moving on, Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright. My boy, Jeffrey Wright's amazing. I love him. I loved him back in Shaft when he was doing a really bad Puerto Rican accent, stereotypical one. Really fell in love with him in Westworld. And just again and again and again, Jeffrey Wright does not disappoint, and he does an amazing James Gordon. His James Gordon is at his wit's end. Yeah. His Gordon feels like there's no other choices, and that this is the guy who, you know what, at this point, why not the crazy guy in the mask and cape? And that's really what it feels like. It feels like he's at his wit's end, and he's like, this is the only guy I know who might be able to help do something. Andy Serkis as Alfred. I like him. I like his mannerisms. I like his groove. He kind of reminded me, dare I say it, of the Alfred from the TV show Gotham. And forgive me, I don't remember that actor's name, but in that you believe he has seen some stuff. When he gives advice or says things that are supposed to be wisdom, it comes across as someone who knows, meaning someone who's like, you got to watch out for this thing or that thing because I've seen. Like, I feel like there's another half of the sentence he never says, which is because I've seen this. I've been through this. I understand some variation of the war you're in. And I really love that. I dug that so much. The other thing was, dude, Colin Farrell's Penguin. So we've all heard Colin Farrell do Boston, what is it? Boston, California, USA. Like the voice that he does that's supposed to not be his Irish accent. He doesn't do that voice here. He's doing a very different thing. And I can't even place an accent really for it, but it's a little manneristic. It's a little New York, a little Chicago, a little something. But man, with the look and everything, you forget. I had trouble seeing Colin Farrell in The Penguin. It was amazing. And of course, there's that dope chase scene with the Batmobile. The Batmobile. You're going to think I'm crazy, but I feel like the Batmobile in this movie reminds me of the Batmobile from the Adam West TV show. I know you're thinking, hang on, Mr. Know-It-All. What are you talking about? All right, give me a second. Give me 5 seconds. I'll convince you. When you used to watch the Batmobile in the old Adam West TV show, it'd be the whole, they come down slide down the pole, atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed, and then you'd get this boom, and the rocket would come on, and there was a visceral like, ooh, they're doing something, and you see that, and then you see the sped up footage of them going out of the Batcave. In this movie, when he gets in the car and you hear for the first time he does some setting up and then you hear boom, I immediately went back to my childhood, that reticular activator that hit me and said, and was like that same feeling that I was like, ooh, the Batmobile. I was like, ooh, the Batmobile. To be fair, I got the same sensation with Keaton's Batmobile when the rocket went off and you go to the city and you hear the whole thing. So very similar. So I never got that with the Christopher Nolan ones. It's funny, even though the rocket booster was supposed to be able for like jumping and stuff, I never got that same feeling. So that's why I say this harkens back to that Adam West Batmobile. Batmobile is dope. It is a muscle car, emphasis on the muscle. Then we get to the Riddler. I'm really proud. I am so proud of Matt Reeves, bro. And who am I to be proud of him? I'm super proud of Matt Reeves because this Riddler scared me. And I've never been impressed by the Riddler. This is Riddler on the level of the Hush Riddler when all the reveals happened and you found out that he was very much involved with that whole story. Anytime you've seen the Riddler done well, you got there was an animated version of the Riddler who was actually kind of scary back in the Batman. There was a Batman animated series where he had like pointy fingers. I don't remember the one. Anyways, and that did a really killer Riddler too. This Matt Reeves is really hitting that Fincher 7 Zodiac killer feel. You believe the Riddler is a psychotic killer who loves to play games. There's nothing like the Jim Carrey version or any of the goofy, like he's not in the nice fancy suit and the whole 9 yards. But this guy is very intelligent. And he feels the need to almost embarrass or test Batman in a big bad way because he believes fully he's a narcissist of the highest level. He believes fully he can't get caught. And I'm not talking about anything that happens in the movie. I'm talking about that's the impression you get from jump. And so overall, what is my know-it-all index? I gotta say, I think that I believe fully that the Batman is an 8.5 out of 10. So 8.5 out of 10. There's some places where I think I would have liked, I think that they'll get better for sure. Not that there's anything wrong with this. I love the grittiness. I love the whole feel of it. I definitely feel like it's funny. I find myself thinking more along the lines of, well, what in the world could this possibly be? In terms of how many villains could they come on board? Mr. Freeze, this guy, that guy, Poison Ivy, whoever. I find myself thinking, who could they do next? Because this is in this style. And there's a lot of options. There's a lot of thoughts to be had there. I think you can get an amazing Court of Owls story, like the full version, like a nice, like real, like you almost put him, well, maybe you do it for the third story, or you build on something. Who knows? This thing's amazing. So yeah, man, there you go. Now you know. And if knowing is half the battle, then you're halfway to being a know-it-all already. So, what's up, man? Never forget, everyone loves a know-it-all. Go see this movie. Go see this movie. If you don't have your tickets yet, go see it. I also want to thank, I have some special friends who got me into the screening that I got to watch. It's very important because I have a very small channel, but they believe in me, and I hope they believe in the Know It All Nation. So if you like my stuff, do me a favor, hit the like button. The like button's way more important than the subscribe button. I mean, I want you to subscribe, but if you hit the like button, that tells everybody else that my stuff's something to watch. That really would appreciate it. Kind of share it around, do what you can to kind of help grow the channel. Right now, my first goal, truthfully, is 100 subscribers so that I can get my vanity URL. So yeah, man, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and again, never forget, everyone loves a know-it-all.